he speaks about the conversions that were happening in the book. Yeah. So as this guy is kind of going through all of this and speaking about how, this book, A Record of the Jews in Jamaica, is the title of it. As he's speaking through all of this, he speaks about why it was that so many Hebrew residents in the St. Anne parish began converting or marrying. And what is of interest regarding Joseph Bravo Harris is the fact that, look at this, the Hebrews resident from the same book in St. Anne parish assembled for divine worship on Yom Kippur at the home of Joseph Harris at Brownstown. I was credibly informed that the room Harris appropriated for the service, which was during his lifetime, was never used for any other purpose. Harris was an English Jew. He came here from New Orleans, Louisiana. Again, another coordinate that just keeps popping up. And then the author writes, I have not been able to ascertain the provision for worship that was made in any of the other parishes. St. Elizabeth must, however, have had organized worship during the 18th century. It is very pleasing to record that at no time since the Reform movement assumed practical form during the 19th century has religious persecution in the island reached so acute a stage as to at all render it possible for the setting up a Reformed congregation, as was the case in some of the neighboring islands, thus to save many on this account from leaving their ancestral religion. So he's just kind of going through all of this, speaking about how some people left the faith, and he says that he's inclined to believe that they did that because they just didn't like the rabbinical Judaism with its unyielding laws and just kind of wanted to marry into other families and become Christian. But that is of interest here. So again, if we can get up that family chart, we're speaking now about Joseph Bravo Harris, and he believes that this is the father of Joseph Alexander Harris. So right in the chart you're seeing, we don't have a picture for him, but we have a blank spot for him if this is if this is correct. Then above that, we have someone that would be technically Kamala's third great-grandfather, Ralph Harris, who married Julia Bravo. That's where that middle name Bravo comes from. And what he's been able to discern is that they were also born in 1832 in England. He married Julia Bravo. They had 2 children together. He then married Sarah Ann Winchester, and they had 2 children together. He also had 1 son with Louisa Mary Evans, and that's where he says he's gotten as far back, but for whatever reason, he is saying that this would of course be known to the Harris family because Harris was a big name in St. Anne Parish. She would obviously know that her heritage dated back to this. She would obviously know that she had Jewish relatives, which again just keeps leading us to this question of why hide any of this? This is not something that the world would be upset about or angry about. So